Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Metal video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the Int Broly and seeing how good he is at 100% in the potential system and, inverted commas, level 10 links on Dokkan Battle. The reason I say inverted commas is because I have 2 links to level 9, but in reality they only add 1.5% to attack. I'm just not going to get there. I wanted to do this video because I just really like Broly. So yes, it is technically not level 10 links, but he has all his equips, he's rainbow, and every major link is at 10 out of 10. Now Broly has his easy A, and I think the general consensus is that Broly, as of the celebration, is not up to speed with some of the other units. I tend to disagree. I think Broly's amazing in some ways. I do think he has his hindrances, as most units do, but I don't think he's as bad as people make out. Although I do think, comparative to the quality of the celebration in general, he definitely probably is a little bit of a step behind some of the big players, especially the summonable units. Now, in terms of Broly and his overall numbers, Planetary Destruction on Movie Bosses category lead of 170%, key +3. Greatly raises attack and raises defense on the super attack. Key +3, attack and defense of 260%, damage reduction of 20%, and critical hit of 26%. Launches an additional attack, there's a high chance, which is 50%, becoming a super attack. Gets an additional attack and defense of 26% when attacking. An additional key +3, and launches an additional attack, there's a great chance of becoming a super attack, plus further damage reduction and crit chance of 18% when attacking. There's a Pure Saiyans, Hybrid Saiyans, or Movie Heroes category enemy. Launches an additional super attack plus an additional damage reduction of 15% and chance of performing a critical hit of 15% when attacking if there's an enemy whose name includes Goku Jr., Captain, Ginyu, etc. excluded. That gives Broly, in total, 59% damage reduction against Goku units and 44% damage reduction against Pure Saiyans, Hybrid Saiyans, or Movie Heroes. That also gives him 44% crit, which is pretty good. He has key +6, attack of 60%, and attacks are effective against all types for 1 turn. In terms of build, I would say you want to build Broly as much additional as possible, personally for me. Those additionals really help with raising his defense and boosting his overall offense quite substantially due to his decent base crit line. So for me, additionals is the way to go. For some people, that's not the case. For me, though, that is definitely the case. In terms of raw numbers, let's put it this way. Outside of his active skill turn, because that does augment his attack hugely, Broly is likely to sit at around 11 to 12 million in terms of super attacks. He's likely to go from around 300k defense to around 600, 700k defense within around roughly 2 to 3 turns, depending on the enemy you're facing. If you are not facing a Pure Saiyans or Hybrid Saiyans or Movie Heroes category enemy, then you are not going to get the same level of output, you're not going to get the same level of super attacks, and so you're not going to get the same level of overall damage. If you are facing those enemies, you're going to get a lot more output, a lot more defense stacking, and so in general, you're going to have a better time. Now, with that being said, Broly can do decent damage. Broly is a very solid unit. Broly, especially, in terms of how can I say, general strength, is not bad. 44% damage reduction is good. If you couple that with 600, 700k defense, becomes a bit better. You got to remember he's got 26% on super. And this is important because it does change a lot overall for him. In terms of everything else, honestly speaking, I think Broly's really, really solid. I think overall for me, he's a good unit, but very different in design to units like Tech Broly. Tech Broly, the LR, the EZA LR, is great because he just provides immediate impact in terms of damage. Int Broly is the kind of unit that's going to be a little bit more sound and secure against certain enemies in longer form content. largely due to his ability to build up his defense to a very respectable level after a couple of super attacks. It's very funny to me, but God obviously plays a very big factor in how units are perceived. Because if Broly had God, then basically no one would be hating on him, I think. Because essentially he would just be a better version of Tech Gohan. But at this point in time, he's similar to Tech Gohan, but not the same. The damage reduction doesn't work the same. It's more effective in some cases, it is less effective in others. And so in theory, I think right now, he's pretty good. In the turn where you can use his active skill, his numbers look insane. They look like premium LR numbers, they look huge. He can fire off 3 to 4 super attacks, so it's just massive the amount of damage he can do. And the numbers can get big, 31, 32, 33 million, give or take. And you could boost that even further. Throw in a 2-turn support, throw in another heavy float support for him, and you could probably push those numbers up even further. But to see a 31 million from a TUR is pretty impressive to me. Now obviously that's in his active skill turn, which is a huge turn for him. But by being so big, a lot of the times he eliminates the unit or the enemy, and essentially gives himself a free ride till the end, pretty much. Broly, in terms of sheer output, is actually very much up there during this course of this turn. Like, yes, obviously you only get this active skill once, but in theory it really helps, because you can essentially eliminate any boss that is pure Saiyan almost immediately, which is really quite nuts if you really think about it. So Broly's really good from that perspective. I do think he's obviously got his nuances to his kit that I think ultimately people don't necessarily like. I think a lot of it is also that like damage reduction, crit hit and everything, all additive on super. I think the fact that he's got so much percentage locked away fighting a Goku, I can think if you made it that he got even 30% damage reduction and 30% crit chance against like pure Saiyans, movie heroes, etc. And then he got like another 8% from taking on Goku, you wouldn't even bat an eyelid. I think a lot of people would prefer that, just because of the nature of how damage reduction works. The more you have stacking on that target at that point, the better they get. So yeah, overall for me, a good unit. Very, very, very fun to use. Has his absolute Chad-like peaks, and then has his little dips. There are going to be events where AoEs are going to cause him problem. That's fine. There are going to be events where he's not going to be able to stack, and you should use someone else because the event starts off too hard. That's also fine. If you can get him past the initial phases, he is a very, very, very capable unit, pretty much in the hands of any of the teams that he's on. So I, for one, personally speaking, am very happy with his performance. Link-wise, Berserker, Super Saiyan, all of these links are pretty common. Saiyan Warrior Race, Saiyan Lineage, Prepared for Battle. If anyone really is hardened Grudge, that might be a bit difficult to get. And then usually Berserker is kind of a Broly only kind of thing, so that can also throw you off just a tiny bit. But yeah, that's really it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you did, of course, and I will obviously gladly help you out in the comments if you do need. Let me know your thoughts on Broly. I really like him. I think he's cool. I think he competes with units, but I don't know if he replaces like Tech a la Broly or anything like that. I just think the damage output there is too insane to even truly comprehend. So yeah, but that's pretty much it for me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, of course, take care, stay safe, and bye.